Hello friends, welcome to Help Me Coder, the channel which talks about technology and helps the coder community out there. And in today's video, we are going to look into SharePoint permissions, where we will be seeing the different hierarchy levels of SharePoint, how you manage permissions across these different hierarchy levels. We will be doing a demo on this classic way of managing permissions. How do you do the inheritance? We will be discussing about the scope of the permissions, means the places where you can assign the permissions, who will be assigned the permissions, how can they be assigned the permissions, plus how are the different permission levels and what are the different permissions you have that you can assign. Plus the bonus, we'll be doing all this practically, so don't worry, we'll be going all practical about it. Lastly, I will tell you about the new permission structure in SharePoint Online, the new sharing options that we have in SharePoint Online. We'll discuss about that, so do watch out for that last portion, because this is a new way of how you share your files on SharePoint Online to external people, internal people. Permissions in SharePoint is connected with the hierarchy structure of SharePoint, and this is very important to understand because these are the places where you will be playing around with the permissions, where you can change or modify the permissions. So every web application that you have has to have one site collection. So it starts with one or more site collections. As most of you will be working at the site collection level or below it, so we will be starting looking the permissions from there. Now in Office 365, there is no web application concept. Your tenant is the web application and you don't get to create it. So if we go back to this Office 365 portal, this is the admin center right now, as you see, and this admin center has list of all the site collections that we have created till now. And this is the place where your tenant admin will create the site collection for you and will specify a site collection administrator. Now let's see how do he create this kind of thing. So he can either go and click a create a site from team site or communication site. We are going to create a communication site and I will just provide the site name Mango site. For example, I add myself as a super owner over here. So this site collection administrator will have the super permissions on this site. And what I mean by super permission is that any kind of permission that you give below this site, like at the list level, at the document library level, so it doesn't matter to this person, this owner person, because he will still be a super owner. So this is the top level site collection that I am creating right now. It is creating this site. This is the Mango site. So if you click on the gear icon over here, you will see that there is something as site permissions. Here it will show you there are 3 groups that are created by default, and that happens in the on-premises also. If you go into advanced permission settings, and so this is the default permission level that gets created, and these are the default groups that gets created. You can add your own groups, you can delete these groups as well. Now if I go back to my site, basically over here, if you create any subsite below it or any list or document library, they will inherit the permissions whatever we have given it right now. For example, if I go to view all site content, create a subsite, I will say subsite. I will just give it a name as Australian Mango. So I've given Australian Mango as the name, team site. So here, if you see that it asks you whether you want to use the same permission as a parent site or you want to use your unique permission. So if you say you want a unique permission, it will create 3 new groups for you, detach you from the parent, so it will remove the inheritance. But right now let us say that I want to use the same permissions as the parent sites, and I will say click create. Now the site is created. If I go inside the site permissions, advanced permission settings again, so by default the permissions are copied over from the parent site collection to this subsite that we have just created. Now it also says over here the website inherits permissions from parent. So that's why you see these checkboxes are dim and you cannot edit this permission, because these permissions are managed at the parent level. So whatever at the parent is given is being copied onto this level. If you want to manage specific permissions at this level, you need to stop inheriting permissions. So once you click on stop inheriting, it says that you are about to create unique permissions for this website. It will say this message to you, and if you say okay, then basically it will come to this particular page which will ask you whether you want to create a new group for this visitor site or whether you want to use the existing group only. I might say I want a new group, so it will create an Australian Mango visitor group, create a new group for the member of the site. Similarly, I would say create a new group for the owners of the site, or I can even use the existing group. It all depends upon to you. So once you do that, you will see that it will create new 3 groups. And if I go to advanced permission setting, you will see that it has created new 3 unique groups called Australian Mango members, Australian Mango owners, visitors, and so now you will see that there are multi other options that I can see over here. I can create, I can grant permissions, I can remove the permissions. So if I don't want this top level permissions to be carried forward to this particular, say, I can click on it, I can remove the user permission. One more important point and things to remember is that when you do inheritance from the top level, parent level, and you break it, after breaking, if you do some changes over here, like in this subsite, if I add some more groups, add some users, I do all those changes, and then if I say delete unique permissions, it will lose all those things that you have done. So you should be very cautious while doing delete unique permission, because if you delete, I've seen so many times project team members or the owners go and delete the unique permissions, and once they delete it, they come back to the administrator saying, oh no, where is my permission? So we as an administrator cannot do anything about it, because that is done, that's gone already, we cannot recover it back. So you need to be very cautious while you are saying delete unique permissions, because when you say delete unique permission, this SharePoint will point you that hold on, this site includes things that have been shared with specific people. Those people will lose access. So if you say okay, you will see that it will lose all those things that you just created. It will now come back to the same permission level that you have at the parent. So we need to be very cautious about it. Now the next thing that I want to show you, if I go back to my main site, so if I create a list under this, how does the permission inheritance work over here? I go to site content, a new list over here, name it as Hello Mango, and I will say create. So this time when you create a list, basically it never asks you whether you want to inherit, because by default it will inherit the permissions on the place where it is created. If you would have created it under subsite, it will have taken from the subsite level. If you would have created at the top level, it would have done the same. If you want to see the permissions of this list, you have to go to the list settings, then you go to the permissions for this list. Now if you see that this is right now telling you that this list inherits the permission from its parent, which is the Mango site. So it is clearly telling it is still inheritance is on. So if I want to have its own permission, so I will say stop inheriting parent. So it will have its own individual permission. You want to manage, you create anything that you want to do over here. Maybe I don't want visitors to see this list, so I will say click on that, I will say remove the user permission. So that's how you manage the unique permissions of the list. So when you think about permission, there are 3 important things that comes to your mind. First thing is the permission scope, means where you are assigning the permission, like at the site collection level, at the subsite level, or even at the list, or at the list item, or at the document level. I would highly recommend not to break the inheritance at the list item level or at the document level. There are different ways to share the permissions to individual users in SharePoint Online, but I won't suggest you to go and break permissions at list item level, because then the management of your list and these permissions will be very difficult and cumbersome. So if this is a list, and if I create a new item over here, maybe just this is just a dummy item, and if you want to break permission, you can go and see manage access at the item level as well. What you can do is you can go to the advanced settings. You will see that this is inheriting the list level permission, but if you want, you can stop inheriting the permission. You are creating a unique permission for this item, so you can break the permissions at the item level as well, which I don't recommend. So that is what I wanted to say to you guys. Don't break it at the item level, just keep it at the list level, but don't go until the list item level or at the document level. So now you know where you want to assign the permission, but who is being given permission? There are multiple ways you can assign users. First thing is that you can create a group for them and add users over there inside the group, or you can add individual users, or if you are connected to an AD, you can even add an Active Directory group. Now couple of points to note over here. I wouldn't recommend adding users individually. I will tell you why. Second thing is that if you are creating a SharePoint group, you cannot have one SharePoint group inside another SharePoint group. That you cannot have. You can definitely have an AD group inside a SharePoint group, or you can have AD group directly as well, and you can have users inside a SharePoint group, but you cannot have a group inside a group. Next thing is that why don't we want to have individual users? Because it is very difficult to manage the permissions later point of time. If you want, you can grant an individual user like this, and I can show the options, and I can say I want to give him edit permission. I can share that. You will see that Hemant Joshi is now added as an edit permission level. So permission level is added. There is a group already with a permission level edit called Mango site member. So why don't you just add this user into this particular group? Don't clutter the permission section over here, because it will be very difficult in future for you to manage the permission. For example, you have 20 users added over here, and now somebody says go and change all the edit to read. You have to go 20 times changing this thing. Instead, wouldn't it be better that you have added all those 20 peoples inside a group, then you change it one time only and everything gets changed. So you're getting my point, correct? So you need to do it on the group level, don't do it individual level. Next thing, if I am inside a member group, you can add a user over here. You cannot add a group inside this one. So once you have created a group, you can click on the group settings. So you can see there is some group setting details, like who is the owner of this group. Here if you see in the group settings section, who can view the membership of this group? Everyone can view. Who can edit the membership of this group? Only group members can do. So only the group members can edit. I can even say that the group owner can only do. So once I do this, the members also cannot edit the membership of the group. If you see the membership request, which basically specifies whether to allow users to request membership in this group, so you can say whether no or yes. You can go ahead and see all advanced settings about the group or the group settings. So now one new setting that is available in SharePoint Online, or I guess in SharePoint 2019 as well, is the link setting option, where basically you can go to an individual item or document and you can share that with other people without breaking the permissions like I was showing you earlier. And we will go into details which we will cover in later part of the video. The last thing right now we have done is that we have checked on the scope where we are assigning the permission. Who is getting the permission, we have checked that as well. How he is getting the permission, we have looked into that as well. Plus the last thing that I want to check on is the permission level that we want to share with him. So any user who you want to share a document or file, you need to tell him what kind of permission level you are assigning to him. And permission level is something that is created at the site collection level. So this is a site collection, and if I go to site permissions and click on advanced permission settings, you will see that there is something called permission levels. So there are predefined set of permission levels. Right now we have seen that there is an edit, there is a full control, and there is a read. But there are some more permission levels that are defined here, like example read, contribute, edit, design, full control. And you can create your own custom permission level. Permission level is something like a combination of lot of different permissions grouped under a single name. So the read level is defined based on the selections that you have made. I will never suggest to change the existing groups or change the permission level, like for example go inside here and add some tick mark, these all things, and then submit it. I wouldn't suggest that. If you want to change some settings, create your own custom group. For example, if you want to create a group called contribute without delete, choose a permission level which is closer to what you want to do. For example, in my case, I want to have a contribute without delete. I will choose the contribute permission. So once I have the contribute permission with me, I will go at the very bottom and I will say copy permission level. So it will copy the same permission level for me, and I will name it as contribute without delete. You can add a description as well. That is very important, because then only in future people will come to know what it does. So right now this is the contribute permission. Now if you want to remove the delete thing, you can just uncheck the delete item and say that the users cannot delete items. So anything, you cannot delete a version. So everything is there same as it is, but I have removed the delete options from here, and I just click on create. The new permission group created called contribute without delete. Now when I assign this permission, you will see that I can assign members. Instead of edit permissions, I can say edit user permission, and I can say I want him to have contribute without delete, and that's it. So that permission level is now assigned. The other point to note over here is that you can manage the permission level at the site collection level. So right now I'm at Mango site, the site collection level. So you can see the manage permission level. But if I go to a subsite, for example, if I go to my subsite called Australian Mango, the site permissions, and if I go to advanced permissions over here, you will see there is no manage permission settings over here. It will only have those permission levels that you have created at the top of the site collection level. At the subsite level, you don't get to see those options. Other thing to note is if you go to any document library settings, and then the permissions for this document library, I cannot create a group over here. So even if I stop inheriting the permissions, I cannot create a group over here. So I can grant a permission, I can use existing groups, but I cannot create a group over here. So groups can be created only at the top of the site collection level or at the top of the site level, but they cannot be created at the list level or at the document library level. The other thing that I want to share with you is the check permission tab. Now if I want to see a particular user, what is the permission that he carries, so I can search for that user. And if you click on that user and if you click on check, now it will tell you what kind of permission this user is having. So the new option that we have in SharePoint Online is called the link setting option, and this is an awesome option because, as I was telling you earlier, in our classic way of doing things, we need to break permissions if we want to share something to somebody else. So instead of breaking permission, the best way to do is use this option called link settings. If you want to share some link, document or file or list item to a particular person, then you can use this link setting option. This is quick and easy way to do it. Maybe some of the options will not work on your tenant, so maybe for that to work, you need to change the site level policy or the tenant level policy. So I will let you know how do you go about changing that. And this is a document library. Click on the three dot and click on share. You can share this link with anybody in this tenant, and you can enter the name or their email address. Like for example, if I want, I can share it to Vivek. I can add a message and I can send that link to him. So link is sent now to his email ID. There are other options as well. Instead of sharing with a particular people in your link, you can share with anyone in the whole World Wide Web, depending upon how your tenancy rules are set. I will show you how do you enable this. Then you can share with existing people. Somebody has already access on this particular list, you can share with that. You can send to it specific people. Then based on the type of document you are working on, there are some set of options that come and go. For example, right now I'm on MS Word file, so you get to see this block download feature. If I basically don't allow a person to do edit, and then what I can further restrict his permission by blocking the download as well. So maybe he can just view the file on the browser, but he cannot download it on his laptop or somewhere where he's working. If you allow editing, you can allow editing in the review mode only. Now this is also a nice feature. Basically in review mode, people can only leave comments and suggest changes to the document. They can review the document basically. So these are the some set of options that you get to see while you are in the document library. While in the list, if you are there, if you click on share in this particular position, you will see that you don't get to see some set of options and you just see allow editing or don't allow editing. Now let me show you how do you change the settings in the tenant. If you go to SharePoint Admin Center, there are two places that you need to change the settings. First thing, in the site collection. So for example, my site name was the Mango site, and if I click over here, you will see that there are some set of policies that you can specify whether you can do the external sharing or not. This site cannot be shared externally, so you click on the edit option and you can say, okay, I want to share this site with anyone. So that's the external sharing option. There are some other options over here which you can see down below. So click on the save button. Now if I refresh document library over here, I think it should start working for me. So if I click on share, now you see this anyone with the link and edit can be seen over here. Also there is one more place where you can do the tenancy settings, which is if I go to the policy and click on the sharing. So if you see that this is crawl kind of a thing where you can select what is whether it is most permissive. So you can define what kind of how stricter controls needs to be placed. This is one thing. Then there are a lot of other permission structure which are self-explanatory, and you can go ahead and see all those settings over here. So this is the place where you control how your tenant level permissions are allowed. And also you can control this further at the site collection level, and then you can further control it at the site level. So this is the permission hierarchy that I was talking about, the permission. So I hope you would have learned something from today's video, and this covers everything about SharePoint permissions. If you still have any questions or any feedback, do write it back to us in the comment section below, and I will try my best to answer all of your questions. Also, this is one of the video of SharePoint series that we are trying to build it with you guys. So right now we have already covered something on SharePoint, what is the basics understanding of SharePoint and what are the 20 list options that we have. There are a lot of videos on SharePoint, so keep watching those if you are new to SharePoint. Plus do hit the like and subscribe button and keep the bell icon notification on so that you keep getting awesome updates for my future videos. So thanks for watching, and until next time, happy coding.